Hey guys, so we're going to help each other out today. We're going to write a book report about a book that you would recommend one of your classmates read in Epic. I see so many of you reading books all day long from Epic, and I want to know what you're reading. So we're going to do something called a book report. So I have attached my example of my book report. I read a book in Epic called Fast Enough, Bessie Stringfield's First Ride. And what I want you to do is I want you just to tell us about the book. I'm just typing it as if I were talking to you about it. I'm going to tell you everything that happened in the book. And then I want you guys to see if you can find a picture now, if you read a fiction book, and you read a book about cats that were playing drums. Maybe you just insert a picture of a cat and a picture of some drums. But since I was reading a nonfiction text, I was actually able to go find a real picture of Bessie. You guys really need to read this book. It was about a girl named Bessie who wanted to race bikes with boys, but the boys said that she couldn't race. So you have to read all of this, but she finally races and she wins. Then she sees something that catches her eye. That's not literal. It didn't catch her eye, but it was very interesting to her. A motorcycle. Now back then, boys didn't think that it was ladylike to ride a motorcycle. They didn't think that girls should be on motorcycles. They thought motorcycles were only for boys. But Bessie became the first black woman to ride her motorcycle by herself across the entire world. So this was a really, really awesome book. Now, the pictures in this book were neat because they were illustrations. Even though this was a true story, of course, nobody had all these pictures from Bessie's childhood, so they drew the pictures. It was a really good book, y'all, and I would recommend this book to you. What I also want you to do is if the book taught you a lesson, I want you to add that. And I added my lesson that this book taught me. It taught me that just because no one else has done something before doesn't mean it can't be done. I can actually be the first person. And notice my last sentence right here just says, you should read this book. So we are recommending books in Epic today. We're writing a book report. So what you will do, you have a blank page and all you do is you just start typing. So you can keep looking back at mine to see kind of how I did it. Notice I've got my paragraphs here. This is all we're doing for reading today. So I want you guys to take some time, really recommend a book that you think your classmates should read. Find a good picture, especially if you read a nonfiction book, you can find a picture. But if you didn't read a nonfiction book, just add a picture that has something to do with what you read. If you read a book about a kid, it was a fiction book about a kid who makes music on Mars, then maybe he was a rapper. You can insert a picture of a microphone and you can insert a picture of Mars. That will give us the idea. All right, so have fun with your book reports today.